Morning guys, happy Saturday. Um, so I already recorded this video once, but it took me like 15 minutes again. So I'm going to try to talk faster this time and see if I can get through it a little bit faster than I did last time. Um, so here we go. Today we're going to be talking about prediction and supporting details. And I know you're all going, oh, where's Ian? Maybe I'll get him in here in just a few minutes and let you see him, let you hang out with him for a minute. But I do want to do something a little bit different today. I want to introduce you to somebody. This is Lucky. Check him out, huh? Nice looking deer, isn't he? Notice his rack. Nice. Now, I want you to use your predicting skills to make a guess about why we called him Lucky. So a couple things to keep in mind, to consider. Looking at the size of his antlers. He's a big deer, big body, pretty tall. And sometime last fall, we had to change his name to Unlucky. Now, what you got? Have you figured it out? We called him Lucky because, well, for a white-tailed deer around here, he had lived a good, long, happy life. He had grown to a large size, big antlers. He'd lived through quite a few seasons until last season. And that's when we changed his name to Unlucky. Now that was just kind of a brief little example of using predicting skills. We use predicting skills every day. We use predicting skills all the time. Now granted, the prediction skills that you're going to use on a literature selection are going to be a little bit different than the kind that you use every day. But the idea is the same, that you look at the supporting details and you make an educated guess based on the details. A lot of times we think about the things that we do in reading class as being totally separate from the things we do on a normal day-to-day basis. And they're not. They're the same types of skills that you use. Not only were you predicting, you're also making an inference. Right? So, a couple things to keep in mind, and we're gonna, like I said, I'm going to try to rip through this as fast as I can, so pause me when you need to write things down. The keywords for a prediction question are, of course, prediction or predicting. What would have happened next in the future? What will probably happen after blah, 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 blah? What will most likely happen next? At any point in time, you're just making an educated guess about what's going to come next in the passage. And your keywords for supporting details are which sentence or phrase best shows, which of these proves, which best illustrates, or which one helps the reader to. And your supporting details can really go for anything. They're going from making predictions to concluding to drawing an inference, any of those things. Supporting details is just what we look for in the text. So every time I've said to you, find me some text evidence for it, find me some text evidence for it, that's what a supporting detail is. Alright, so we're going to start out with predicting. And the first step in prediction is to summarize how the selection ends. You have to start from the end to make a logical prediction for the next step in the story. If you start at the beginning paragraph, we're just going to be predicting what the author's already done, and that's stupid. You're not imagining anything at all, you're just taking unnecessary steps. So for those of you who like to work smarter, not harder, make sure you don't start predicting until you get to the end of the selection. Okay, so I want you to actually do this right now. You need to get your selection that we've been working with, the gym class Nobody Somebody, and take the last couple paragraphs, reread them, and write a summary of no more than 2 sentences. Only main events. 1 sentence is better than 2, frankly, but summarize it and then answer this next question based on your summary. Which prediction about the narrator can be supported? This is what will most likely happen next. What's the outcome? A, Jake will try harder in gym class. B, Jake will be asked by his peers to play more often. C, Jake will receive a reward from the coach. Or D, Jake will give up playing guitar for baseball. Awesome. So the first thing I want you to be careful about is not being drawn to options that sound good, they sound nice, they're appealing, but you can't actually support them. It might sound like an outcome that we want to happen, something that, oh, well, you know, this kid seems like a nice kid, we'd sure like this to happen to him, that would be really nice. But it's just something that you can't possibly know based on the information that you've been given. So we're going to take answer choice B and answer choice C for this illustration. B, Jake will be asked by his peers to play more often. Well, you know, it's tempting to think that. He did catch the ball once and might change his outcome. Shh. You can sit on my lap if you want to.
Really?
Yep. Okay. So you might be tempted to put that because it makes sense. Well, okay, see you later. He did catch the ball once, but there's really no evidence to support that, and there's actually evidence to refute that idea, because the next day in gym class he's picked last again. Also, C, Jake will receive an award from the coach. Well, you know, maybe he noticed that he caught the ball for the first time in his life, and it's very exciting, and whoop-de-doo-ding-dong. Let's give him an award because, you know, we reward everybody just for showing up. But we don't know anything at all about the coach. We don't know whether he's that kind of coach or not. So that is not a logical choice based on what the passage says, based on the selection. Now, I hope by this point you should be able to predict what the last step in predicting is, because it's the last step that we always have. Enough said. So we're going to take answer choice A and answer choice D, and we're going to build a case for those two, because we pretty easily eliminated B and C as, you know, nice choices, but they're probably not going to happen based on what the evidence says. So for answer choice A, Jake will try harder in gym class. You should be able to collect 5 pieces of text evidence out of the selection. 5. I want those written down. Okay, word for word, direct quotes out of the story. What are your text evidence that Jake will try harder in gym class? For answer choice D, Jake will give up playing guitar for baseball. You should be able to find 2 text references about Jake's guitar playing. Write those down. So you should have 5 text evidence pieces for answer choice A, 2 for answer choice D, and I want them actually written down. This is part of your assignment. Okay, so based on how much text evidence you have, you should have concluded that obviously A is the better choice, 5 to 2. So, and what you just did was to find supporting details. All right, now we're going to go back to supporting details questions. And let me just say that this is my favorite strategy for any type of question on the EOG or any other multiple choice test for that matter. Answer the question yourself before you look at the answer choices. They call it a distractor for a reason. The answer choices, you get so distracted by them that you start justifying answer choices instead of actually looking at the question. So know what the question is asking you. Try to answer it like a short answer if it's at all possible. So what I want you to do right now is to answer this question as a short answer. What is Jake's change in attitude? From the beginning of the selection to the end of the selection, how does his attitude change? Answer that right now. Now, from these choices, which of the following sentences best supports the answer that you came up with? A, every day is the same in my 8th grade gym class. B, I figure one fewer ball in the equipment locker won't matter. C, the truth is that the next day when teams were being picked, I stood there, the best guitar player around, and was chosen last. Or D, not even the intense Texan sun could keep me from watching the sky for a ball heading my way. Alright, so out of those 4 answer choices, which of those best supports the change that happens in Jake from the beginning of the story to the end of the story overall? Remember, you got to look at the big picture for this. Okay, so make sure you answer this question. Make sure you have written down what Jake's change in attitude is from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. Make sure you have 2 text evidence for answer choice D on the previous screen. Make sure you have 5 pieces of text evidence for answer choice A on the previous screen. Make sure you have written a 1 to 2 sentence summary of the last 2 paragraphs in the gym class Nobody Somebody. And that's it for predicting and supporting details. I will see you in the next video. Bye.